In this video, I'm going to give some thoughts around solo filming and some budget-friendly gear to take your self-filming hopefully to the next level. It's that time of year, we see it all the time on the Facebook groups, that guys are jumping into solo filming. And this video, we're going to talk about some gear items, some thoughts, and some tips really. But solo filming, you're doing two things at once. You are not going to be creating a Heartland bow hunter type masterpiece, and chances are you don't get paid to self-film. So keep that in mind when you're picking your gear and you're filming yourself. You don't want to make this a total job, especially if there's no income coming in. But let's go ahead and dive into everyone's question of what camera should I get? Well, folks, the answer is obvious. We all have one of these. This is a cell phone. It honestly shoots great quality, and in the right hands is probably more deadly than any other camera on the market. Well, that's arguable, but I mean, you can produce some very powerful stuff with the cell phone. The rig you see here actually would go into my full camera setup. I've got one of these clamp systems that actually screws together versus the spring system to hold that cell phone in place. It's just a little more sturdy, and I think that's the route to go so that you don't drop your phone out the tree. But you know, your cell phone records 4K, most of the new ones. That'll allow you to crop in if you are bow hunting. Now those 4K files are huge. Also, I have a note here, if you're going to use a cell phone and edit this, you probably want to get a Mac because of the airdrop between your cell phone and your editing computer. The audio quality on your cell phone is generally really good. It's got face detection and knows how to autofocus. So it's got a good amount of technology built into it. Also, generally, people are hunting now with those power packs that essentially is a secondary battery for your cell phone. You could charge that thing back up if you noticed it was getting low in the field. If you are using a cell phone, something to be aware of if you're going for a hunt and you're going to use it as your primary audio. Obviously, if you've got a day with wind noise, a very windy day, maybe you shoot your interview in your truck with the engine off, not driving. Thank God. Please don't drive and give interviews because the audio alone is terrible. But you know, shooting that knowing, hey, in the tree stand it's going to be super windy, maybe I want to accommodate for that, and I'm going to shoot my interview or give some sort of audio breakdown of what's going on in your hunt before that happens or even after that happens. But just noticing your wind noise or your additional noise. Maybe you pull out your cell phone and you're walking through the leaves and you stop walking because then you don't have that extra noise in your audio. So obviously we see a lot of mention on, hey, I have my cell phone or I have my camcorder, I'm going to get a POV camera, a secondary angle camera. You know, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of that being a top purchase. I think there's a lot of additional purchases. I would say a microphone, a good tripod. Those are better than spending money on a POV type camera. You know, realistically, you're using that camera for very minimal stuff. Now, it could be a tool if you were going to combo your cell phone with a POV. I could see where that could be a deadly combo in the right hands as far as a production quality. But I'm just not a huge fan also of the fact that every hunt, and if maybe you're a mobile hunter, you've got to screw that thing into the tree or mount it to your stand in some way. That's a step every single hunt. Something I'm a big fan of, actually. You can see here, I've got it mounted to my bow, my stabilizer. This is a Tacticam. This is the Solo Hunter. It's a $120 purchase. You can probably find them on sale for under $100. It does okay. What I like about it is you turn it on and it gives you a vibration notice that it's recording. So you know it's doing its job, and it doesn't. There's no secondary function. You literally power it up and it goes to record mode. What I don't like about it is it does flash green, like kind of violently. I don't know if you can see this, but I've actually put a piece of black tape over the power button. Was not a fan of the flashing strobe effect on that. Some other options, I would think, if you already have a GoPro, great. I'm not a fan of the price point of some of the GoPros to performance. DJI Osmo Action Cam is $200 on Amazon. Does everything a GoPro can. You can get the attachments for it as well. and you can mount it to your bow. My thought of having this on your bow over, say, screwing it into the tree, obviously this stays attached all season. The only thing I got to do is run it and charge it every now and then. Also, it's pointed where my bow is going to go, so it's going to catch the shot. Whatever glimpse of the shot it's going to happen, it's going to capture it. Let's talk microphones. Right now, you can see I've got a shotgun mic right here as I record this video, and that's what I recommend for solo filming. A shotgun microphone, for those new, is kind of designed to capture in a general direction sound, but give stereo quality atmosphere sounds. It would pick up a buck grunting or stomping leaves as it's coming in, but it would just do a much better job of getting quality audio, which is very important. It's definitely underrated, and if you don't make a lot of videos or worked in the space, you don't know how important quality audio is. A shotgun mic over the lavalier mic. Lavalier mics are designed to do one thing really well, and that is capture limited external audio. Generally, you see them clipped onto a guy, wires. With that system, you've got batteries involved. You've got maybe you bouncing back and forth between a shotgun and a lav, and so you've got extra steps. And as a solo filmer, I'm not sure that's the best thing to be doing with your time when you can screw one of these on. They sit in the horseshoe mount on top of your camera. There's even budget-friendly options. 90% of the crowd listening to this would not know that I could record with this microphone and actually use this all the time in our YouTube and even some of my hunts. But this is a $30 shotgun mic made by Boya, B-O-Y-A. I might have mispronounced that wrong. But 95% of the people listening to this couldn't pick up the difference between this and its copycat is, or it copies the Rode Micro Mini, which is more like in the $60 to $70 range. So $30 well spent. This Rode that you see here is pretty thin and slim profile. I really like it. So yeah. The other thing I like about these shotgun mics that I didn't mention is they run off the camera battery. So chances are you've already charged the camera battery itself, or you have a backup camera battery in your bag. That's a pro tip right there. I don't want a shotgun mic that takes even a AA or something extra, because it's an additional thing to worry about. And as season goes on, you've got headlamp batteries, cell phones got to be charged to get your GPS to your stand, external power pack is charged, cameras charged. It adds up over time, and so keeping things simple. Everybody in their filming arsenal for filming their hunts would need some sort of small tripod, or medium-sized tripod if it's going to stay at the truck. Something that I find myself using more than any other tripod, and I own about 3 of them in various qualities, but I use the cheapest one. Actually, I've got like 5 tripods because I've bought several small ones, but this is the Joby Gorilla Pod. It's a little bit of the better one. There are knockoffs of this method. I can't speak to their quality. This is the really good one from Joby. It sits roughly a foot high, but because it's so small, I can put this in my backpack and run around with it and then set it down, and traditionally it'll get me high enough to get shots I need as a solo filmer. It also can double as a selfie stick. If you've got a tighter lens or your camcorder is very tight, you can hold it out away from you a little bit and get a little more stable footage because you've got something to hold on to. So yeah, I use this all the time. I've wrapped it around branches before to get some shots in that manner. But I've bought, I think, 3 other small tripods that are kind of that compact design. And I always come back to this one. I've bought 2 of these. They say after time these balls do wear out. Let's talk camera arms. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the Lone Wolf Custom Gear pocket arm because of its compact design, the fact that it's one piece onto the tree and you're done. I had a 4th arrow, which took 700 steps to get on the tree, and it had a fake screwdriver. They've improved that to a smaller arm as well, and we're seeing some other small companies come out with some compact arms. But note, even this arm comes with 3 segments, and I've already taken one of them off because I got to drag this thing in and out every time, and I just want it as small as possible. Another thing I really like about this arm is no ratchet strap. Some of the arms I've used in the past, you've got those big ratchet straps, and there's nothing stealth about those. But there are some other very budget-friendly options, especially if you don't have to support a mega bazooka camera out there. As far as cameras themselves, I think, you know, any of the Handycam, Canon Vixia point and shoot camcorders are great. and you can do a lot with those. But I would hate to see a guy buy one of those and then he doesn't have money for a good camera arm when he's got a cell phone already. So, and some of the thoughts around that. Also, the cell phones, they do make some microphones that actually insert into that lightning port of the Apples. I can't speak to Android systems. I'm just not familiar. One final thought or whatever is in your hunting backpack. In your hunting backpack, I recommend keeping either an external power pack if you're cell phone recording, or an extra battery and SD card, just in case you would be mid-hunt and you fill a card. You're like trying to flip through on the fly and figure out what you want to delete. That's never a great time to be doing that. So a spare SD card definitely always in the bag at all times. As far as keeping your stuff waterproof, I do like either a dry bag, canoe type bag. You know, kayakers, canoers, they always have these. You can find these cheap on Amazon, or just double up a couple Ziplocs and call it good. As far as storing my camera in the bag as I go to hunt, you see guys ask about that too. I actually take a toboggan, my Carhartt toboggan I hunt with, and put my camera in that, because it essentially protects my camera as I transport, and it doubles over as a hat for hunting. So if there's gear you have questions about, maybe you've got some cool ideas for solo filming, go ahead and leave a comment on this video and we can exchange some thoughts. I'm always looking to get better and find new gear that makes it easier. I appreciate you guys watching. Team Harder and Bucks, we're out.